Frustrated with the current state of influencer marketing? Annoyed with the prima donna macro influencers who overquote their actual worth? Looking for better ROI and earned media metrics? Welcome to Crowdfluence. Since 2013, influencer marketing has risen to become the fastest method of accelerating a digital marketing campaign. Along the way, this niche form of marketing has morphed from the sole domain of big brands and macro influencers to one where nano-influencers are recognized for their immense local effect on conversions, no matter how small their radius is. Crowdfluence is the new tech tool that enables brands to tap into the power of nano-influencers, whether they are employees, customers, or general members of the public, while avoiding the wasteful time spent that now exists for brands trying to activate nano-influencers. The current state of influencer marketing is cumbersome indeed. Dealing with regular influencers is a time-consuming process and often not worth the effort. You can imagine then that dealing with micro-influencers is infinitely worse, as you need much more of them to drive a strong campaign. Crowdfluence takes away this pain point by offering a solution that eases the interaction burden between brand and influencer through an easy-to-use tech platform that eliminates the need for any sort of manual influencer deal-making and maintenance. Brands create the campaigns, and influencers then participate in them, without ever needing to directly interact with each other. The reach a brand can achieve with this aggregated nano-influencer campaign is tremendous. Now, a local brand can tap into the power of nano-influencers to execute targeted campaigns that more closely match the buyer persona to the product in question, resulting in higher conversions. Crowdfluence campaigns start with brands creating their campaigns from our easy-to-use web-based administration panel. Brands create their preferred campaign content, including images, text, and hashtags. They also define who can participate as influencers in the campaign by defining aspects such as age, gender, location, interest, and more, including whether or not the campaign is for insiders, customers, and/or the general public. If a Crowdfluence micro-influencer matches the criteria defined by the brand, they are able to view the campaign in question and inspect it in order to make an instantaneous decision to participate. Once the decision is made, it's a simple two-click process to have the brand's predefined campaign content posted on the user's social media. 3 days after the post is made, our behind-the-scenes process evaluates the engagement of the post, which includes followers reached as well as post likes, shares, and comments, and generates a reward for that post that accrues to the influencer in the form of loyalty points or cash reward. We take great pride in our easy-to-use platform, but there's a lot of functionality under the hood within our code base. Here's a sample of what's in our engine, with more to come, of course. Notifications that let an influencer know when there's a new campaign in the system that they are eligible to participate in. Metrics that give feedback on post engagement during the campaign, both individually and in the aggregate. Insider upload, where the brand can upload a complete list of their company employees into our system and have them linked as insiders to the brand in question. Profile fraud detection, where our system executes artificial intelligence analysis on every submitted profile to determine if the profile represents a real person. And AI matching between profile and brand to auto-match both personas to determine if the influencer in question is eligible to participate in a particular campaign. Crowdfluence has a number of different campaign types to allow brands to create the kind of campaign that makes sense for the product in question. Insider campaigns, where the influencers used are connected to the brand in a formalized relationship, such as employees of a company, volunteers on a political campaign, etc. Customer campaigns, where the influencers used are current or future customers of the brand in question. Public campaigns, where there is no connection between the brand and the influencer whatsoever. And finally, match campaigns, where the brand combs through our database of influencers and chooses their desired candidates to allow them to participate in a particular campaign. Breaking down the use cases for Crowdfluence, here are a few sample execution formats that our brands should consider. The overall use cases are many, but these 4 examples will point you in the right direction. A brand can run a campaign on Crowdfluence that utilizes all their employees as de facto influencers. This works for theme parks, casinos, retail, restaurants, concert halls, nightclubs, and bars, and more. These will be considered insider campaigns. A political candidate can run a campaign on Crowdfluence that utilizes their vast number of volunteers as de facto influencers. This aspect was one of the main inspirations behind Crowdfluence from its genesis, and of course these would also be considered insider campaigns. An artist can use the aggregate of their fan base in order to power up a Crowdfluence campaign, empowering their most emotionally invested people to advocate on behalf of that artist. This works for musicians, touring DJs, actors, and more. This execution could either be considered an insider or a customer campaign. Brands that offer a loyalty points program can make use of Crowdfluence to enable their customers to advocate on social on behalf of that brand and earn loyalty points for their efforts, which can then be transferred through an API system to whatever internal loyalty points program the brand utilizes. Examples of companies best positioned to use this aspect are big chain retail, casinos, theme parks, cinemas, and more. Putting it all together, Crowdfluence represents the next era in influencer marketing. Brands can empower any influencer class to execute their campaigns, from employees to volunteers to customers and of course the general public, all at a far greater ROI value than ever before. By empowering the people closest to your brand to advocate on your behalf, it will take root in the public's consciousness and lead to greater results in both the short term and the long term. Nano-influencers have a much stronger connection to their peers than any mega influencer could possibly have. Crowdfluence solves the problem of accessing these nano-influencers with enough scale to be worthwhile to all sizes of brands in an easy-to-use tech platform backed by a company that deeply understands both the marketing and the technology. Get in touch with us. We're here to help.